So, what are some areas that a family could study when creating unit studies using their family traditions? Because we kind of talked a little bit about
Yes.
how we can take that one topic
Yeah.
and kind of spread it out and do some creative things with it.
That's a great question. I think like the sky is kind of the limits, but to give you
Mm,
some like examples,
yes, that would be
like we
great.
already talked a little bit about history and the things that you
Hmm.
can do with history. You could potentially look at science areas depending on what your tradition is. Like for example, I know like with Christmas trees, you could do some experimentation with like the needles and different things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And you could also incorporate some language arts with some reading and writing. You can have them
Mm.
write about your traditions and what it means to you. You could have them interview family members, other family members who do
Oh, yeah.
traditions, and have them like that skill of not only like writing out the information but like taking in the information and then
Mm.
turning that information into like a paragraph or a short booklet or something
Mm.
that is
Hmm.
about the traditions in your family. You could take a field trip. I
Hmm.
mean, but there are often different places that
Mm.
might be associated with your tradition, or
Yeah.
if one of your traditions maybe is that like you put up a Christmas tree every year and there's going
Hmm.
to be a big thing where a bunch of different people have decorated Christmas trees. You can go look, and that's kind of like an
Oh,
extension
yeah.
of seeing what
Hmm.
other people do with their Christmas trees. And
Yes.
um, when I was in high school, actually, I studied German. And one of the things that we got to do is in Chicago, there's a really big German Christmas market. So we got to
Hmm.
visit there and see like how some of the traditions are carried forward to this day. And so, if you have a strong cultural traditions, you can also look for opportunities in your community if there are to experience some of those more traditions that are associated specifically with your culture. And so there's lots of
Mm.
different areas and lots of different ways. If you're doing cooking, you can incorporate some math
Yeah.
into that. And
Mm.
so really as many ideas as you can think of,
Right.
you can incorporate them. Sometimes
Mm.
it just takes sitting down and thinking about it a little creatively,
Right.
and thinking, okay, these are the things that normally we would like to cover. We want
Hmm.
to cover do some language arts and some different things like that, and just think about it
Right.
and just think for a few minutes like, how can I tie these together? Because everyone's
Mm.
traditions
Hmm.
are unique. Sometimes they're the same, but sometimes
Right.
they're unique too. And
Mm.
then
Hmm.
even when we share traditions, no two families are going to carry
That
out
is
that tradition
true.
exactly
Yeah.
the same. And
Hmm.
so that's why it can be fun. And if you don't have any family that you're carrying on the traditions of, you could also have your kids ask their friends and learn about their
Mm.
friends' traditions and
Oh,
what they do and
yeah.
why they do
Yeah.
it, and get them thinking about it,
Hmm.
and writing and doing some different things, or expressing, drawing pictures of different traditions too, for kids who struggle with
Right.
writing or who are not ready yet for writing.
Mm.
So think
Hmm.
about where your kids levels are.
Right.
Even just having them put together like a little book and say, this is our tradition book, and inside having
Mm.
pictures drawn of their traditions,
Oh, yeah.
and then they can tell you a sentence about the tradition, and you can write that down in their book, and then they'll have that as a keepsake for when they get older, but
Hmm.
also have them having thought about it and started
Right.
some of those early pre-writing skills.